I have a lot of books. Really nervous. I don't want them to crumble and fall everywhere. I don't want that. It's working out for the best. I'm so excited to film this one. I've been just dying to film a video where it's not me just talking about the books that I've just read and it's like my monthly wrap up and I'm just doing a vlog. Like, this is something that I have put a lot of thought into, and it's also a recommendation video. But it's also just me like talking about, well, it's pretty much, okay, this is the title, all right? The books I'm currently obsessed with. Hopefully that is a really good title, I hope. Anyway, let's move forward because I don't want it to be awkward. All right, I have a lovely selection. I'm going to do the first two right now while they're on my mind because I don't have the physical copy of them right now because my beb is currently reading them. Okay, so the first one, it's very blatantly obvious if you know me and you know my experience and you have watched my videos where I have explained my favorite book of 2023. That was Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. That was a 6-star. It was a 10 out of 10. It was 11 out of 10. It was everything and more. It was everything that I could have wished of. I'm just so grateful that I got that experience to read that. But I also feel so heartbroken that I can never read that for the first time ever again. It was one of those books that just truly encapsulated me. It's in my heart. Always and forever. All right, so there's that one, and then the next one is Happy Place by Emily Henry. It is, I am full of adoration when I think about this book, when I talk about it. It is so beautiful. It is a beautiful second chance romance set in like a holiday season where they go to a small town, friendship group, but also miscommunication. Lots and lots to unpack with it. It is such a beautiful novel. One of Emily Henry's best books, I reckon, to this date. I really think so. Okay, the next book I have is the second book in the ACOTAR series. It is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas, and I can't wait to reread this year. I'm doing a reread of all of the I'm doing a reread of all of the ACOTAR books. At the same time, I'll also be at some point this year reading the Throne of Glass series. I'm currently 3 books in, so I'm really happy with it. So yeah, this is fantastic. It was a 7 out of 10. Just seeing Rhysand even pop up in the first book, I was like, he's gonna be my favorite. He is my favorite. And I don't even have a favorite girl. I don't have a favorite girl, but it could change. It could possibly change with my reread this year. But my favorite 2 people in this whole series is Rhysand and Lucien. I absolutely adore both of them, more so Rhysand just because I want to date him, but I would also be completely and utterly happy with dating Lucien, I don't fucking know, okay? It's hard when it's a fantasy, but yeah, this is a fantasy. I cannot spoil anything because this is the second book in the series, but if you want to get into fantasy, romantasy specifically, because it is a fantasy romance with a lot of war that goes on throughout the whole series, you definitely need to start off somewhere, and the perfect somewhere is ACOTAR or Throne of Glass, but I would say just because I've finished ACOTAR, I have more knowledge, you know what I mean? And this was, I was on the edge of my chair. I was on the edge of everything. I'm on the edge of glory. Yeah, it's just absolutely fucked up. It's so beautiful. I love the color of it too, you know what I mean? Okay, while we're on the topic of fantasy, there is something so ridiculous in my feelings with this. This could all come out as word vomit because I am so utterly obsessed with it. I'm actually going to be honest with you. I am more obsessed with this book than the ACOTAR series. And the fact that this was her first book as well just completely blows my mind. You guys know, if you've watched my books, you know what I'm about to say. It's Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I have a hair that keeps tickling my leg and I hate it. Powerless by Lauren Roberts. It is bliss. It is pure bliss. The banter in this book is absolutely phenomenal. The tension, it's just like the build-up. The build-up was the perfect pace, And then all of a sudden, this twist that completely leaves you on the edge of your seat. Your jaw will feel broken from how firmly it just completely drops, and then it stays locked in that position until it's completely finished. And then when you read the first chapter of the teaser of the second book, Reckless, at the back of this, then after that you'll throw the book on the floor and you will try your best to maneuver your jaw back to its correct alignment and position, and you'll be in so much pain, but you'll also still be so happy that you read the book, and then it will be on your mind until you literally read the second book. And I'm waiting, Lauren, I'm waiting. I literally comment on her TikToks like I'm such a fan, and and there's no shame. I am so obsessed with this book. It is also a book that I would recommend to anyone that has never read fantasy, or they might have read fantasy when they were a lot younger, and now that they've matured in a sense, and they've grown and they are inspired to read and they are considering fantasy. This is just perfect because it has a lot of similarities with the Hunger Games, as in the theme and the setting, but there is also so much of its own, you know what I mean? Like of its own aura and themes. So it is incredible. There are powers, there is balls, there are trials, there is just heartache. It is just, I can't keep talking. Like, if you haven't read this, you need to actually sort your life out and read it. I'm sorry. It is so beautiful. So beautiful. And I'm never, ever gonna, and honestly, this is the book that I would take if I had to escape. There was an apocalypse and I had to escape, or I was stranded at a deserted island and I only had one book to read for the rest of my life. It would be this one. And I know that's crazy because I said my favorite book is Fourth Wing, but I would sneak that one in with me. Like, I would do anything and everything to bring those two books. So yeah, it's just crazy. Okay, you know me. That is obviously a 6-star. It was perfect. No need to keep going with that one. Otherwise, we'll be here until Easter. So the next book that I have that I'm still obsessed with, I think about this to the day. I'm never going to forget about it. I'm never going to. It is The Love Hypothesis by Ellie Hazelwood. I was going to say love Hazelwood. Fuck. I do love Ellie Hazelwood. She's incredible. This is just incredible. It was the first step into STEM romance that I have dabbled in, and I'm grateful for it. It was so cute. It wasn't anything that I couldn't understand. Like, I actually understood. I was enjoying it. It was a nice palate cleanser for me as well. I read it in a whole day. I was obsessed with it. I just loved the pace that it was going, and I loved how it abruptly starts like this way, and there is a reason for why she is the way she is and the way that he is the way that he is, and then all of a sudden when it just keeps pacing throughout and more characters keep getting introduced, I just got so excited. And yeah, honestly, I'm actually getting chills right now thinking about it. I'm getting chills up my back and around my shoulders. I can't. It's so cute and it's so perfect. And look up. Okay, so you want to think Zoe Deutsch. I don't know how to say her last name. I'm sorry. I really need to get better at pronunciation. But yeah, Zoe is a fantastic actress, and I picture her as Olive, and then I picture Adam Driver. I think that's how you say his name. He's incredible as Adam in this book. So yeah, it is just hot. It's hot. It is hot. And it surprised me too, because I didn't think it would be hot. I just thought it was going to be just like a really tiny, small, random romance about science, but it was perfect. It was perfect. It was delectable. It was so good. And I'm pretty sure every single one of these books I'm showing you right now, I gave 5 stars. So yeah. No, I didn't actually. This next book, I didn't end up giving it a 5 stars. I gave it a 4.5 stars from my memory. It's definitely 5-star worthy, but I was going through a shitload of shit when I started reading this book, and then I lost the book. My sister had it for ages because I left it in one of her bags when I was traveling with her. It's just not good. It's so hard when you're traveling and then you have to read and you want to commit to reading, and I lost focus. I lost so much focus when I was trying to read this book, and it took ages, and I had to bleed it through different TBRs for months. I was just like, fuck. I had to DNF it, but it was unintentional. I DNF'd it for a little while, and then I was like, fuck, I can't remember anything. So then I just reread it, and I still really loved it. It was so good. It is Beach Read by Emily Henry. It is incredible. I know it's incredible, and I know it's definitely 5-star worthy, but with my experience, as I said, just because of all the shit that was going on in my life, I gave it a 4.5/4.75 stars. It is incredible. It is really, truly fantastic. It is literally 2 writers, 1 holiday, a rom-com waiting to happen. What I really, really enjoyed was there are moments in this book where they, let's say, can see each other through windows, and they're both writing and doing their work, and anytime they want to communicate, they have like a big notepad and they write a message. It just reminds me of Taylor Swift's You Belong With Me in her Fearless album music video. When they're writing messages to each other through window. I just think that's so cool. So yeah, I really loved that. They were like my favorite moments. So cute. Another Emily Henry book, why not? So in 2022, this was my favorite book of the year. It is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I also read this in one day. Look at how cutesy and thin it is. It's perfect size. I highlighted all of my favorite things in this book. I just love the names as well, like Nora and Charlie. That is so hot. That is so hot. And this book is hot. And I wasn't expecting it to be hot, but they're hot as. And then the last part, it was just so cute. Like, look at all this cute stuff that I was highlighting. Nora is a cutthroat literary agent, the top of her game. Her whole life is books. Her whole life is books. Charlie is an editor with a gift for creating bestsellers, and he's Nora's work nemesis. Just like that might end up being one of your favorite books. It's a bit odd because like when I was reading that and then like bleeding into the new year last year, people were reading that and they're like, oh, it's not really that good. And I'm like, what is your problem? Like, what is your problem? It's fine. People are allowed to have different opinions, but obviously that was one of my favorites. So, yeah, and I'm still currently obsessed with that. I still think about it to this day. I think about them in the bookstore and I think about them at the lake, and it's just incredible. It's so incredible. Okay, the next book I have is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I am a massive fan of Hannah Grace. It's concerning, actually. She can write. This book is dick, but like same pace as Poker Face. You know, at the start. Yeah, like dick. This book is dick. It's literally dick. Not in like, oh, you're a dick. Like, come on. Sexual intercourse. I'm just grossing myself out right now talking about this. But seriously, guys, their chemistry is unmatched. It's so good. Picture. Okay. And there's a really good TV show that I watched. And I remember watching this when it first came out as well. And I watched it and I was like ranting and raving about it. And no one jumped on the bandwagon with me. As soon as it came out on Netflix, I watched it. And I was like, because we're in lockdown, I was like, fuck it. Like, there's nothing going for me right now in my life. Like, we're in lockdown. And being in Melbourne, in Australia, we had the worst lockdown in the world. It was crazy. We were locked up for over 365 days. Very tight restrictions. So I thought, let's just binge a TV show or two. And I binged that. And then I rewatched it 3 times. It's that good. It is that good. And it reminds me of this book in some way, like some aspects of it. But obviously Nathan, he is a ice hockey player and Anastasia is a figure skater, but she does partner figure skating. And there's just like a lot that goes on. They're in university, they're at the same university, and some shit goes down in both sides, really, both sides of their story, and they just come together and they're a great support system for each other. It's really good because there's a lot of communication, like a lot of the, like, it's not plot heavy. A lot of the time it's quite communicative, and you get to see a lot of insight into his friendship group and her, you know, becoming a part of the friendship group. And then it's just really good. It's so good. It's so fantastic. Yeah, and I love sports romance. So yeah, I'm obsessed with it. The next book I have is another Hannah Grace book, and it is a part of this beautiful series. I can't remember how to say the series. I just don't remember what it's called, so I do apologize. Surely it's like somewhere on here, seriously. Maple Hills. I'm just gonna say it's the Maple Hills series, whatever. This is the second book in the series, and it is my favorite out of these two so far, just because I love Russ. I love Russ so much. I want to date Russ, and there are plenty of men in this world that I adore, and most of them are not blondes, because I just don't like I'm just not really attracted to blonde people at all. But there's something about certain blondes, like I've got Russ, Jace Wayland from the Mortal Instruments series. There's one more that I was thinking about when I was doing my hair in the shower before. I've really gone a blank here. And I was picturing as my fan cast for this book, Ross Lynch. Ross Lynch is so hot, and I know in this book it describes Russ with lighter colored eyes. Could not picture Ross Lynch in this book. I pictured Madeline Klein as Aurora, and it's so cute. So pretty much it both go to the same university. It is summer holidays. They both decide to work as camp counselors at a summer camp, and it is really, really cute. It's all set in America. They both have issues that they face, but prior to both working at the summer camp, they end up having a one-night stand 24 hours before they see each other at the campsite. So it is crazy, and there's a bit of miscommunication, but in saying that, they were really fantastic. And as I said earlier with the Icebreaker book, it's not really plot heavy, it's more so communicative, but that still, I was getting off on it. Like, I was enjoying that so much. Very smutty, both of these books. So Hannah Grace knows she knows how to write a book. She knows how to write a sex scene or 13. She's fantastic. She is so good. And I just really, really loved this. I loved their chemistry, and they both have their own issues that they have to face in their life. I'm about to sneeze. Bless me. Fuck. Anyway, yeah, and they're just so cute. So yeah, look at the cover. But don't be fooled by the cartoon. They have a lot of sex, and it's good. It's really good. Thank you, Hannah Grace, for writing these books, because I'm obsessed. The next book I still think about this to this day, and I have been broke as a joke. I have not been able to afford and budget very well with what I'm dealing with at the moment, and I really, really want to buy Ruthless Vows, but I haven't yet. But it's still on my yearly TBR. Don't worry, I've been smart and I remembered that, as well as Reckless, but that still doesn't come out for a while. So anyway, I've got Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. This was my third favorite book of this year. It is definitely up there, like sitting side by side, top 3. It is incredible. It is so beautiful. It is a fantasy novel, but it's actually less fantasy than you think. It's really, really good. There's a lot of communication. That's like a big theme. Enemies to lovers. They work in the same workforce. There's a war going on, but they both share a similarity where, and there is a big ancient history behind the typewriters that they both communicate through. They're magical typewriters, and there's a lot going on, and they're writing to each other. It's incredible. It is incredible, and you need to read it because it's beautiful, and I can't wait to read the second one. I recently watched Lauren Sydney's reading vlog of her reading Ruthless Vows, and she said that it was quite boring the whole time, and it kind of was like, it's kind of like going back to the start of how they were, you know, they're not together, like they're apart from each other and they're just communicating, but apparently the ending is really, really good. So I'm really scared. I might really like it. It's just someone's opinion, you know what I mean? But I love watching Lauren Sydney's vlogs and videos. So yeah, I really am excited to read it. But yeah, this is still so hyperfixated in my brain. It's mushed up inside my brain. I want a relationship where I can do romantic things like this and write cute letters. So yeah, how cool would that be? What the fuck, literally. Okay, the next book that I have is Normal People by Sally Rooney. I need to do a reread of this book, and I'm pretty sure I do have it on my TBR this year. There's one thing that's completely trippy about this book is there are no quotation marks. Like, you just kind of have to guess. But at the start, it's more so at the start, you have to guess like, oh, is that person saying this right now? And then it completely just like wires your brain and you're just hooked and you know and understand exactly what's going on. A miscommunication trope. It's beautiful. Champagne problems. Taylor Swift, sorry. I annotated this. This was one of my first ever books I read in my start of my BookTok journey. And what did I say? Oh my god, that's disgusting. I can't believe I said that. I'm such a rude person. Wow, I'm really rude. But also Lucas probably deserved it at the time. Yeah, I tabbed everything. As you can tell, like, I was a brand new tabber. Like, I did not understand how to tab. And I feel like I still don't. But yeah, that was a 5-star book. It completely threw me. I read it in one day. I demolished it. I ate that shit up. And I sat on the couch and I actually ended up crying at the end because I was like, oh. Anyway, okay, the next book I have, I literally was talking about this to my cousin this morning. Like, it's a hyperfixation in my mind, and it's unfortunate because the TV show is so beautiful as well. And I'm a Conrad girly through and through. This is The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. It is such a fantastic, beautiful YA novel. I absolutely love it. It's beachy theme. It's set in cousins. It is a love triangle. Brothers. Ew, yuck. But yeah, it's still really, really fantastic. They are incredible. I highlighted some of my favorite things. Oh yeah, this is cute. This is really cute. He wanted to win me, why do I read this in an American accent? He wanted to win me a stuffed animal. I already knew which one. I'd pick two. The polar bear with the wire frame, glasses and scarf. And I highlighted that because it's cute. He smelled like the ocean. He smelled like Conrad. Oh, fuck off. Fuck off. Okay, the next book I have is one of the craziest books I've ever read. It is a Taylor Jenkins Reid book, but it is so different to all of her other books that I've read so far. And it is, I'm going to say it's my favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid book to this day. I can't believe it. It is One True Loves. This was actually highly recommended to me by my cousin, and usually I'm the one that's doing all the recommendations, but he read it before me and I read this. And I've talked about it in a couple of vlogs and like other sit down videos where I'm like, oh my god, I read this, and when I was finishing reading the book, it was midnight and I was sitting in bed bawling my eyes out, choking on my tears and trying not to make too much noise, and I wanted to go into my Beb's bedroom and tell him, hey, like, I've just finished reading it, but it was way past midnight, and at the time he had a really good sleeping regime schedule and I could not bother him. And then the next day I was just so emotional and I told him and I was like, I read the book. And yeah, it was crazy. It's a 5 stars. It is fantastic. It is really heart-wrenching. It's really, really, really heart-wrenching. But it's also beautiful. It's so beautiful. And there are some main character girls in books where they are insufferable. But Emma is not one of those people. You see her and you sympathize with her. You really do. I definitely want to reread this when I'm older. They're set in their 30s, but it goes through like a whole timeline because obviously and this is not a spoiler, she is married to Jesse and they are high school sweethearts. So you see bits and pieces of her as a high school sweetheart, yada, 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 going through what they're going through. There is a reason for why the title is called One True Loves because I'm not going to say anything else. I actually genuinely can't spoil it. This next book is still one of my every waking thoughts. Like, it's in a huge part of my brain. I mentioned earlier that one of the only blonde people in this universe that I would ever go for is Jace Wayland, and Jace Wayland is in this book. And you know how before when I was like, oh my god, there's a third person and I was thinking about them in the shower? It is the guy from Sons of Anarchy, the main guy, Charlie. Well, that's not his character's name, but the actor that plays the main guy in Sons of Anarchy. So fucking hot. I would honestly, if he shot me, I'd say thank you. Like, he's so hot, I can't breathe. Okay, so anyway, this is a fantasy novel. It is a series. It is the Mortal Instruments series. This is City of Bones, the first one. I'm just showing this up. The whole series is fantastic. I am doing a read through of all of these books because I was, for many, many, many years, and it's like year after year, back to back, I've never ever stepped away from it being one of my favorite movies ever. The movie, I'm specifying the The Mortal Instruments, the movie that stars Lily Collins and Jamie Campbell Bower, they are perfect. Like, I could sit there and could literally quote that movie. I could sit there saying everything that they say at the same time, because there was a moment when I was 14 and I would watch that movie every single weekend, and it was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it was every single weekend. I don't know why I did that. I think it's just because there's moments like the kiss scene. I was genuinely so hyperfixated, and like, if I'm ever dating someone and they want to kiss me, fucking save it for a better time. Like, take me to a greenhouse where there is a staircase and take me there knowing that there is a sensor or a timer when the sprinkler goes off, because we need to kiss in a greenhouse and there needs to be like fairy lights. It needs to be luminescent at the same time, so it could be like around the night time, and I want that to happen, and I want to be holding a glowing shiny rock at the same time, and you need to walk us down first, the staircase, and I need to be behind you, and then all of a sudden, like when it's a moment where you want to kiss me, you just need to grab me and kiss me. I'm so crazy. You need to just grab me and startle me and then kiss me, and then we get into it, and then the sprinklers go off and we're like, oh my god, like, oh, this is so exciting, we're covered in water, and then we run, and then you need to walk me down the hallway slowly back to my bedroom and kiss me at the front door of my bedroom, and then come into the bedroom with me and then bump into my best friend. I am just describing the movie right now, and the story, really, it's the same, but it's like it's so good, guys. It is so good, the kiss scene. Anyway, yes, this is the first book, and I'm just showing you the first book. It is beautiful. That is Jace. He's hot. It is about a girl called Clary. At the time, she has no reason for why she can see certain symbols and why she can do certain things, you know, and why she has foggy memory of certain things in her childhood. And it's kind of like it all starts to unravel, because little does she know, she is put under a spell, and her mum has completely let this all happen for her own safety. Her mother is a beautiful, beautiful lady called Jocelyn, and her mother escaped her evil husband at the time, Valentine, and yeah, so they have Clary. They're all called shadow hunters, these people. They're kind of like quote unquote fallen angels, where they are demon slayers. They hunt demons because obviously the demons in this fictional universe are evil, and they're there to prey on they're just there to prey on people. Well, really, as soon as a demon sees a shadow hunter, they let loose and then they attack. So yeah, it's actually really, really fun. It's such a good movie. Definitely watch the movie. And then if you are interested, read the books. And then if you are furthermore interested, you can put your energy into the TV show. Although I just don't like the TV show. I tried to watch it. I watched like every single episode up until the very last episode of season 1, because I just couldn't do it anymore. But also, like, Alec is so hot in the TV show. I would fully replace Alec in the movie for the TV show Alec, so he could be in it and it would just be perfect. It would be so good. So yeah. The next book I have is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This whole series, I still think about it. I can't believe I read this in less than 48 hours. Like, I read the entire 3 books in less than 48 hours, because there was a week where I was driving and I had the audio book for the second one. So when I was driving to work, and then while I was at work and while it was quiet, I had it on my headphones and I was literally just listening to it the whole time. And I read the whole thing, and then I came home and then I started the 3rd book, and then I finished it by morning. It was great. It was just crazy. Yeah, so this whole series is a fantastic YA thriller mystery. It is scary in some parts, but it's incredible. Pip, I love her to death. I love her. I love Ravi. The next book I have is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I literally finished this last week and I still can't get over it. Anytime I see a lemon meringue pie at a shop, or if I'm playing Sims and my Sims decide, without even me knowing, they decide to cook and bake a lemon meringue, I'm like, You guys, this universe, you're reminding me of this beautiful book. It is so beautiful. It's the most beautiful romance book ever. You would have seen in a previous vlog of mine, and even me talking about it in multiple vlogs last year, me saying I'm so excited to read this book, and it is a 5-star. Everyone I know, actually I don't know everyone I know that has read this, but most people that I've watched on YouTube have rated this a 5-star. It is incredible, and I am with them on this. It is so fucking fantastic. It is so cute, magical realism, romance, beautiful guy called Ewan, beautiful girl called Clementine, but he calls her Lemon. They hang out in an apartment. It's incredible. This next book I have is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It is the whole series. I still think about this. It still chills me at night. Not in like a really scary way, but it's just like, imagine being in a situation like this. Imagine being Avery Kylie Grahams. Imagine being plucked out of your normal, miserable, random life at school to be put into your principal's office, meeting a beautiful, dashing, hot Grayson, saying, hey, you have been summoned. My grandfather has passed away. We're invited to come to the mansion and we will be reading out the will, yada, yada, yada. She goes, she meets Jamison, she meets the whole family, and so much happens to her. She ends up being a part of the will, and at the time she has no idea who this person is, but so much is uncovered. And every single word, every single chapter, very quick chapters as well, every single word, it is all building up to the very last moment in the third book. Like, you understand everything. And you're also thinking at the same time while you're reading this, could it be this? Could it be that? And you get it. And it's so, so good. It's a mystery, and you are unraveling secrets of this family. It's a very crazy family. That's all I'm going to say. Next book I have is, I literally finished this yesterday at dinner time. And I started crying when I finished it. There were a couple of moments where I was crying because I was like, I fucking feel for these two, really. We've got Brianna and Jacob. They're just so beautiful in every way, shape and form. Gave this a 5 stars. Emily Henry even said Jimenez is a true talent. I agree immensely. So pretty much from my memory, while it's still in my brain and I'm obsessed with it, Brianna, her life, she feels like it's seriously flatlining her. She is coming up to her anniversary of being divorced. She's divorced because her ex-husband at the time was cheating on her with a friend of hers, and it was a really tough time for her. At the same time, she has her younger brother on dialysis. He is in his late 20s and he's severely depressed. He's trying to find a kidney donor because he has a non-functioning kidney. He needs a new kidney to better his life. And all of a sudden, this guy, Jacob, he ends up working at the same place that Brianna is working at. I should mention too, they are both surgeons. I can't remember. They both work at the hospital, and they're nurses and surgeons and yada, yada, yada. They're there to attend to patients. They're trying to find a perfect match for Benny, her brother's kidney, and all of a sudden this is on the blurb, so it's not actually a spoiler. All of a sudden, Jacob somehow has the same, they're a perfect match. He offers to check if his blood's and yada yada, they all work. Yeah, and eventually a lot happens. He is so sweet. Jacob actually faces a lot of social anxiety struggles, and Brianna has a lot of trust issues and trauma. She's dealt with a lot of trauma in her life, and so has he, and they both respect each other entirely, and their relationship is actually so cute in every way, shape and form. And I wish, like, while I was reading this, I was like, I wish I had filmed reactions of me reading this. Like, I could have done a reading vlog, but I'm saving a reading vlog for Iron Flame. But anyway, it was just so perfect. It was crazy. It was so beautiful. 5 stars. And last but not least, I have this whole series to rant and rave about, but in particular, my favorite book of the series is the third one. This is Powerless by Elsie Silver. At the moment, it is my favorite. I am currently in the depths. I'm literally like scathing. I could finish Reckless today. That's the fourth one, and then there's one more after that, so there are 5. But so far, this is my favorite. I'm obsessed with Jasper Gervais. I'm obsessed with Sloane Winthrop. They are perfect. So this is small town romance, country romance, cowboy romance. It's also childhood best friends to lovers. They are hot. It's a sports romance as well because Jasper is a famous NHL player and Sloane is a ballerina. She is a professional ballerina. There's a lot that goes on. Jasper Gervais is adopted into the Eaton family. I've mentioned this quite a few times anytime I talk about this series. I can't believe it. I'm so happy that I was recommended by all these amazing and fantastic booktubers that have read this and had similar experiences. I've tabbed my favorite sex scenes and like pages and stuff. Like there's just moments where it's just perfect. He is so hot. He is everything I want in a man. Everything. He's just so beautiful. I can't really say anything because it's the third book. I don't want to spoil anything, but I think I've done well in kind of giving you a rundown. They go on a journey. He's really close with one of the Asian boys who is part of the military, and they're just trying to locate him, and he's freaking out, and he has a lot of struggles himself that he has faced as he has been adopted. There is a reason for why, and that is a spoiler, so I can't actually talk about that. Sloane is a runaway bride. That's not really a spoiler at all. It's all literally on the blurb. They have such a beautiful friendship as well, but it just intensifies in a good way. It's really, really beautiful. So I thank Elsie Silver dearly for becoming one of my favorite authors in 2023. I am so grateful, so grateful. And I'm grateful for all of these books that I've read. It is a fantastic set of books that I'm completely and utterly obsessed with. And I hope that we also have some similarities. If any of you are obsessed with any of these books, comment down below which one is your favorite or some that you are also hyperfixated on. Also, let me know if there's a book that I haven't spoken about that you're hyperfixated on and you think I might be interested in. Please tell me, fill me in, because I am always looking for new recommendations and new books to read. But yeah, I need to just bring some books over here now to create my thumbnail. I never actually say thumbnail. I always say my thumb because I abbreviate everything like a weirdo. But it's also kind of iconic, like you have to admit. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I really hope you enjoyed my video as much as I did filming it, and give it a like because it really supports my channel. Click the subscribe button down below if you are new here, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!